Good evening. I call to order the meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission. Today's date is August 13th, 2024. Call to order. Staff will call the roll, please.
McGivern,
Here.
Franken,
Here.
Kretz,
Here.
Hestetti,
Here.
and Powers.
Here.
Very good. Moving on to the Secretary's report, consideration of the July 17th meeting minutes that were distributed in the packet.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving along. Thank you, Chris. Moving along to communications. Matt?
All right, so just a reminder, we still have 2 more dates for our downtown architectural walking tour. So Saturday, September 7th, and then Thursday, October 10th. So be sure to encourage family and friends or anyone in the public to participate. It's free and open to everyone.
I went on the last one, and I do recommend it. It's really interesting. It is the same tour over and over. So if you've been out before, it's the same stuff. She's working on doing something different.
Yeah, hopefully for next year.
Yep.
But you can always ask new questions.
And where do you meet? Where do you meet?
You meet at the main library downtown.
Okay, that's it, Matt?
And then I just want to thank everyone. We just finished up our second party in the park. So got to talk to a lot of people from the public, hopefully some historic property owners that may be coming before us in the future. So look forward to doing that again next year. And then,
Wait. No, go back to the baby they have.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
in that picture.
yeah, that's my baby.
like the cutest little girl you can believe. Of course, when you see his wife.
Yeah.
I would like to know why
Not that he had.
Grace shows up to that one and not to the one last week, but that's all right.
Jealousy.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, thank you. So the Gold Coast Hamburg Historic District is also doing their own tour of the neighborhood. So they're doing the same weekend, September 14th and 15th from 12 to 4. So please log on to their neighborhood website for more information. I think they'll have more details as that date approaches. But definitely a nice opportunity to see some of the homes that we may have reviewed here with this commission. And then I have a couple of updates for 2 certificates of public hazard that were issued. So this one is the corner of 3rd Street and Division. So we actually just had one, there was a garage building at the back of the site that was demoed. Well, just a couple weekends ago, there was a car accident at the intersection and the tow truck hit the corner of the building. And so due to uncertainty with the stability of the structure and imminent collapse, it was determined that the best solution would be to take it down. Luckily, it was a vacant building, so there wasn't anyone inside that was injured. But that photo on the right was taken yesterday, so that structure is no longer with us. And then the other one, so this is 418 East 2nd Street, so it's right next to the brand new roundabout to the Arsenal Bridge. So this is in a National Historic District. So I outlined the building in yellow, so it's directly attached to Dam Tacos and Dam View. So this is the 1-story structure. It's a vacant commercial space. Yep, so it used to be,
Record shop.
yeah.
Yeah, Chris Canny was in there and others, yeah.
Yeah, so historically it was part of that car dealership and auto body shop. Well, the wall abutting the railroad tracks collapsed in on the 29th. So they had a structural engineer go through the building. So it was determined that that section, so basically up until the 2-story structure, is going to get torn down. So those are our 2
Does it have to
updates.
do with the rail structure or the building itself? The berm? Or is it-
It's the structure itself that collapsed in. What caused that? I don't know if it was water damage or proximity to the railroad. I'm not sure of that, but
That's a real shame.
yeah.
Well,
And they just repaved that whole street, and now they're gonna have to dig up and take out to remove the water line and the gas line, so that's kind of a shame as well, but.
Oh, wow.
So what will the reconstruction limitations, with it being in a district, if that's a buildable pad in the future, what are the requirements, or is there any oversight from the commission's perspective?
So
for
the
that?
commission just reviews demolition. So reconstruction and redevelopment wouldn't come before the commission. It is within a district, which does give them, opportunity for different financing packages. And this is also within a floodplain too. So historic properties are exempt from floodplain code, so there's some incentives there just to help
Okay,
facilitate potential redevelopment.
okay. And then design overview would have another,
Yep, the design review board would review that project also.
thank you.
Yep. That's all I have for communication.
So as I understand, Matt, although you're bringing this to us, we don't do anything about it, even though the demolition has taken place.
Yep, so it's just an informational item only.
Okay. Very good. This moves us then to new business, unless there's any old business.
No old business.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, that's right. Old business.
None.
None? Then to new business, which brings up case COA 2415, request for the installation of replacement windows, restoration of the south side bay window, and painting lintels at 712 West 8th Street. The August and Frederica Wittenberg Warnebold House is a contributing structure in the Hamburg Local Landmark Historic District. Matt and Ellie McLean are the petitioner, and I think Matt is here. Very good. We just saw you last month. Yep. Yes. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so this home was built in 1881, Victorian Italianate residence. Architect was Frederick Clausen, who designed many homes within Davenport during that time period. Originally, it was a single-family home, but in 1945, it was converted to 5 apartment units, and currently it's been converted back to a single-family residence. So just kind of located there on the corner of 8th Street and Gaines, kind of up the hill from Gaines Street. So we did see this property last month at our meeting, so just to review that action. The commission approved a replacement window on the north facade, so off of the alley, so highlighted in red, it's currently boarded up. The replacement product was a Pella wood window with aluminum clad on the exterior. And that was approved with 2 conditions: that the replacement window fit within the dimension of the existing opening, and that the replacement window be a 2/2 double hung unit to replicate and match the 2 adjacent units there. So the property owner has returned with a new scope of work. The first component being the installation of new windows in locations that are currently boarded up. A second component being to restore the south side bay window area with flashing, a new rubber roof membrane, and wood, and to generally match the existing bay on the east side of the home. And then third, to paint the lintels and sills a uniform cream color. So we'll take that one piece at a time. So the property owner is proposing the same product that was approved at last meeting. So it's Pella aluminum clad wood window. The window style will match the existing adjacent units where applicable, and they're gonna stick with that coal black color. So the applicant submitted several photos, which we'll walk through. So I believe there were 11 attic windows and 9 basement windows that are being replaced. So here are just a couple images. They're currently boarded up, but you can see adjacent windows, which kind of help guide the replacement product. So for instance, this attic window is a double hung unit. So replacement will be a double hung unit to fit within that existing opening. Several more photos of windows to be replaced. That center one shows the interior from inside the home. And then there's numerous basement windows that are going to be replaced with the Pella product. So that photo on the left side of the screen, you do see there is One's still intact, so the applicant's going to replicate that grid pattern with the replacement products. These are basement windows, so they are, there's minimal visibility, I'll say that, from the outside of the structure. Currently boarded up. A couple more photos. And then the north window, so outlined in red on that screen, is currently boarded up. It looks like, just looking at the masonry unit, that probably was a larger opening at some point, but it was bricked up. And then a window at some point in time was probably there, but that's been boarded up. So the applicant's going to remove that plywood and the dryer vent that's in that spot, and then install a new window to fit within that framework. And then the second project component would be restoration of the bay window. This is on the south side of the home, which would be the front door. So you can see there's that bay window with a historic metal railing on the roof. Some older windows and then some deteriorated kind of woodwork around each unit. So that photo on the right is the east side bay window that was restored. I couldn't quite determine what date that was restored. I think it was within the last 10 years or so. But the intent would be to replicate this on the south side of the home. So they're going to install a similar paint color, those decorative corbels along the roof line, new roof membrane to prevent water damage, and then they're going to take off the historic railing, get it refurbished, repainted, and then back on that south side of the building. So that gives you a nice kind of image of that south bay window. And then the final project component would be painting of lintels and windowsills. So the intent would be to paint it one uniform color. Right now, it's a little bit of a mishmash between some white and cream colors. So the applicant's proposing to do cream, which would match the bay windows and just give a uniform exterior appearance. And then city staff is just recommending that they use a compatible paint product that's meant for masonry. So that way we just keep the exterior in a good state of repair. So with that, city staff is making a recommendation to approve the project, just subject to 3 conditions. So the first one being that the replacement window unit fit within the dimensions of the existing openings. That's a carryover from last month. Second being using evidence of existing windows, the replacement unit shall match the old in terms of style and grid pattern. And then third being remove damage or deteriorated paint only to the next sound layer using the gentlest method possible prior to repainting. Apply a compatible paint coating system following proper surface preparation. And then staff reviewed this for conformance with our historic preservation ordinance, which meets the below standards. So every effort should be made to keep the property in good state of repair. And then when replacing architectural features, the replacement product should match the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities.
Okay. Are there any questions from commission members?
Yes, I have a question. Something maybe I was told or read, but I don't remember. But did you say that they're removing the ornamental iron on top of the?
So it will get removed, refurbished, and then installed back on to the south bay.
So is that original to the house?
We believe so. So you can see it in this photo on the right.
Well, if you put the screen back up, I thought they were to leave things that were,
Well, they're gonna restore it and put it back.
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
but
see if I can get this.
which side has the black?
So this is the railing that's going to be refurbished and reinstalled,
Okay.
and that's on the south side of
But
the
in
home.
another screen, it shows the black
Yep.
ornamental.
So that's
Yeah.
the one on the east side of the home that was restored a number of years
So
ago.
that's staying.
Yep, that's staying, and the intent's to replicate.
I got it.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
wanna have this bay window that's been redone match the one that needs to be done. So they
Right.
match completely.
Yeah.
We have a lot of files, and thank you for being here, by the way. We're learning as we go. We have a lot of files on the house.
Oh, good.
So my wife and I are trying to bring the house back to its original nature.
Oh, you're
In
so
every
lucky.
compatible way. The original color was the cream, so that's why we like to go with that. And the bay was redone before we purchased the house, but they did go with that color. So we like that a lot. But our intent is to do everything to get it back. There used to be a beautiful double porch even on the front there. And so over time, we'd like to bring that back. We have photos of the original carriage house, so over several years, get something like that going. Our intent is to bring it back to its original form because it's absolutely gorgeous, the way that it was. And then, of course, when you flip it into apartments and you go through several owners and things,
Yeah.
kind of can go awry. But, that front bay window, the flashing is bad. We don't have any water issues right now, but I'm a little concerned about that, the membrane and such. And so that one, we just would literally match identical to the, one that had been refurbished. And we have so many materials in the house that are original, so we're still kind of going through things to see where all the parts fit, but it will always be our intent to try to get it back to everything that it once was, because it is just gorgeous the way that it was originally. And so that's part of the paint issue, as you can see, and then, with the windows boarded up, one, they're just a terrible eyesore, and two, we currently don't have any issues with water or rodents or things of the nature, but it's something that, I'd rather tackle before it becomes a problem. And what we're trying to do, and I apologize for throwing 1,000 things at you at once, but we're approved for the Dream Plus, but they really need us to get going on using that grant money, and then there's also another one that's coming up. And so our goal is to try to take the grant money to apply to these things, and then whatever's left over, we'll, throw in on top of it to kind of get all these projects accomplished. And, we'd like to do so before winter, so we're ready to get it rocking and rolling, so.
The house is very lucky. to
Thank you,
have
thank you.
it. Beautiful.
I just have a question
Yeah.
about the attic windows. We
Yeah.
saw that many of them are boarded up, but there is one triple window where there's an existing window.
Yep.
I'm assuming you're leaving the existing window.
Yeah.
And only replacing those that are gone.
Yep,
Is that-
unless they get into that existing one and say it's rotted and there's no, and it's gonna be an issue a year from now or something along that line. But the nice thing is I'm glad that there was some there because those were a little bit more difficult to see in the old photographs exactly how they were. So the nice thing is I can bring the contractor up, show him those and have them replicate them exactly as they were. So same with the basement where there is an existing one there. If we're able to leave it, we will. Otherwise, we'd like to match it exactly as it is, using the same Pella windows that we got the approval from you for before. Because that was easier to see in some old photographs that's exactly the window that was original.
Okay, well, to save you another trip.
Sure.
I just want to check with staff. If they run into a situation, I'm assuming we expect them to leave that window there and add new ones. But if they do run into a problem, does he need to come back to us or is our approval tonight going to give him carte blanche to say, yeah, go ahead and do what you need to do?
No, tonight's approval is just for the requested windows.
Okay.
So if you'd like, you could add a condition for maybe future attic and basement windows to be reviewed by city staff.
So they check with you, but we could say if staff agrees they should be replaced, you can go ahead and do it without coming back to us.
Yes.
Is that okay with the other commissioners? Chris, is that okay with you?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, then how do you make that happen?
I'll do it.
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
I'll make a motion to approve staff recommendation with the addition of The commission allowing staff oversight on the one remaining existing window, if it need to be replaced, allowing staff oversight to suffice.
Could we get a second? Very good.
You get it.
Roll call, please, Matt, after you've got that written
Does that cover the
down.
certificate of appropriateness? Do you need to have that? Is that sufficient?
That's sufficient. I can kind of wordsmith it a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'll include it in the minutes for next meeting.
Yep.
And we'll handle it that way. Okay. Hastedi?
Yes.
Powers?
Yes.
McGivern?
Yes.
Franken?
Yes,
And Kretz?
Yeah.
Like going into the other world, you know.
Yeah.
All right. There is no other new business before us. We go to other business. Matt? Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
for coming.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you
really
for your work.
appreciate you and everything you guys do is wonderful and we like the oversight and everybody kind of having to follow the guidelines, to be honest, and keeping areas like this as intended. So really, thank you for always being here and for your work and I appreciate it. So, thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Yeah, you as well.
Nothing really under other business. Do you want to thank Commissioner Powers? This is her last meeting.
Yes,
so-
I think we need to make a formal
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, it's
Commissioner
really-
Powers.
That's why I said bon voyage.
And maybe Commissioner Powers would like to explain to those who may not have heard about it, her new adventure.
Yes, well, I want to thank everyone. It's been a pleasure being on this commission and an honor. And it's been wonderful to meet the people. I have accepted a position on the Davenport Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, which is exciting for me, because it's certainly in my bailiwick. But it's been great. I've enjoyed this. So, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
Your hard work as well.
Yeah, thank you.
So with that, we will have 3 new commissioners for our next meeting. So that's good news because we will have a full commission. So,
Great news.
yeah.
All righty.
Forum, I hear see none.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Chris.
Aye.